Jake, stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen.
There are more fetch lands. Version 6, 7, and 8 just came out for every single enemy fetch land originally introduced in Zendikar. We're going to talk about the implications of this, and the video starts right now.
Special thanks to our Patreon supporters who power our channel. Check out our Patreon for monthly giveaways, exclusive content, and even a starring role in our fan fight series. Link in the description below.
Hello and welcome to The Day.
Thank you for spending your time with us.
I'm Jake.
I'm Joel. Welcome back to another episode of Jake and Joel Are Magic. We have got fetch lands. We knew this was coming this year.
Fetch lands.
Very nice. And Jake, I've got bad news. Statistics show that 70% of the people watching this video are not subscribed. What do you think about that?
They're just not interested in subscribing. They're either not logged in or they're being lazy, but that's okay. If you are a fan of Jake and Joel, head on over and check out the merch store. Maybe Patreon's a good fit for you. There's a lot of perks.
Let's take you back in time to Zendikar.
That's right. So the first card we're talking about is the original Scalding Tarn that came out in Zendikar in 2009, October of 2009. This is the first time that we saw the enemy fetch lands. Remember the allied fetch lands, your polluted delta, your wooded foothills, those came out all the way back in Onslaught. So this was Wizards of the Coast printing the enemy fetch lands for the first time. Pretty big deal. Zendikar really brought a lot of new players into the game. So after Zendikar, it takes forever for this card to be reprinted. It comes out next in Battle for Zendikar as an expedition. Now what you need to know about these expeditions is there were 45 of them. There were half of them in Battle for Zendikar and half of them that came out in Oath of the Gatewatch. Now, the ones in Battle for Zendikar, they are very, very rare. You would maybe find one once or twice per case, right? So these really decimated the entire price of Battle for Zendikar and Oath of the Gatewatch, just drove the prices of those cards all the way down into the dirt. But a lot of players were just like, this is a terrible way to acquire these cards, right? And it destroys the set. So in 2017, Modern Masters comes out, and this is where they just say, you know what, we're just putting them in packs. But the problem with these packs, right, is that these packs are premium priced packs. So in Battle for Zendikar, you're playing a lottery system where most likely you're not going to find one. But now in this system, you're buying packs that, you know, debuted at like $8 or $9 and very quickly became like 15. And then once the set was out, now it's like $20 or $25. So again, the barrier for entry is pretty immense, and these end up being very, very rare. So then they decide, let's print Scalding Tarn again, this time in Secret Lair Ultimate Edition. So the problem with this product is you're buying all 5 fetch lands in an overpriced bundle. But the art is new. All of these cards are non-foil now, so keep that in mind. You know, it's kind of a lackluster product because each Secret Lair up until Secret Lair Ultimate has been between, you know, like a $30 to $50 price point. This Secret Lair comes out and it's like $250.
Yeah.
It's like a complete acknowledgement of secondary market, right?
Yeah, they absolutely charged everything they could when they had a direct to consumer model for these fetches.
Zendikar Rising comes out. And this card you're looking at, this could be foil, this could be non-foil. If it's non-foil, it's going to be one of the seeded box toppers that either appears in a sealed Zendikar Rising box or one of the 2 seeded toppers that comes in a Zendikar Rising collector booster box sealed. You know, people a little bit, you know, medium on the border. New art though, which is very cool. I actually think these are really nice. Fetch lands!
So those are the 5 versions of these enemy fetches that you could have picked up until now. Brand new news, Jake. We knew they were coming, so that's not the brand new piece, but we've got these fetches in Modern Horizons 2 packs going to be obtainable. We have seen them lean into the model that they have been caressing into us, kneading into us like dough over the last 2 years, which is you got your base level model. This is your Corolla. You're going to get a nice car that's going to do everything you need it to do. It's going to get you to your destination, but we can also give you the upgraded perks package if you'd like. It's going to be a little bit more comfortable of a ride, but you know, you're still driving a Toyota. And if you want to go get yourself a Lexus, here is the pimp version in the Modern Horizons 2 packs. So we've got base level, we've got extendo version, as I like to call them, and we've got Old Borders, Jake, the return of Old Borders from Time Spiral.
And Wizards of the Coast was able to from 2009 to 2020 figure out a way to only print 5 versions of these enemy fetch lands, and then in 2021 they figured out a way to print versions 6, 7, and 8, which all appear in Modern Horizons 2. But this is actually a good thing. This should significantly do something to the price of this card.
If we're talking about the most expensive end of these enemy fetch lands, right? There's going to be 2 cards that are talked about. This version right here, the BFZ Expeditions, and then obviously our old border, probably old border foils will be the absolute pinnacle of this. And these 2 will be the competition, right? Which do you think will be the most pimp, most expensive version, Jake?
It should be this one. It should, based on rarity, based on scarcity, it should be this. If you were lucky enough to like open 4 boxes of Battle for Zendikar and pull an expedition, well, you might pull whatever the land was that came out that year, the sunken whatever slow land. Based on scarcity, based on just how difficult these were to acquire, I think it should be this one. But here's the thing. A lot of these cards came out of Battle for Zendikar packs and had a little bit of edge wear, right? The foiling was a little bit weird on some of these cards, so a lot of people didn't like just how bright the foiling was. So I definitely think there's going to be a market for both. Just based on pure scarcity, I think it should be this.
Jake, let's pivot to the other side of that discussion and talk about what the cheapest versions of these are going to be. We've looked at enough Scalding Tarns. Let's look at the other expensive one and look at Misty Rainforest. And I want to make a quick point with these old borders. We've got 3 different versions, like Jake talked about. Version 6, 7, and 8, all in one set. Now, what's that going to do to the price? It's obviously going to drive it down. The fact that this version exists in these booster packs, whether it's collector's set or base, is going to drive down the price of this existing. So we went from Lexus down to souped up Toyota Corolla. We've got the extendo version here of Misty Rainforest that's going to be opened in slots while whales are chasing the big lottery cards, the foil old border versions of these. You're going to pull
to say that this isn't going to be a popular version.
No,
right?
Absolutely.
Like, this is the first time fetches appear in extended.
For sure.
Right?
And it's going to, the fact that the old border exists is going to drive down the price of these extendos. The fact that these extendos exist is going to drive down the price of what we're just going to call the base model. So what you should be doing if you want the lowest point of entry that you possibly can hit is target these a couple of weeks after the set comes out. The non-foil versions of these a couple of weeks after the set comes out are going to be dumped onto the market, onto the secondary market, because people are going to be wanting to recoup the cost of trying to chase foil old border Misty Rainforest, foil old border Scalding Tarn.
I think this old border thing is very cool, but it's also, keep in mind, and you can rage at me in the comments, it's also a gimmick, okay? They're bringing back old border. It isn't an old border. It's technically a border that comes out in 2021, right? It's not an old border card. It's just an old border treatment. It's a new variant. Fetch lands.
So let's talk about the entry price that you should be trying to look for as far as the lowest price that these can be acquired. We've talked about the history of these. You've seen how long it takes for these to be reprinted. If you want these enemy fetch lands, you need to take advantage of this. And I hate the FOMO aspect of this, y'all. I'm not trying to be like, go spend your money. But I am recommending to you very highly that if you want these enemy fetch lands, even just a copy of each at the lowest price that you can acquire them, now is going to be the time. From the time Modern Horizons 2 releases, for the next 3 or 4 months after that, that is when these cards are going to be their lowest, and then they're going to creep back up. This is the version that we're talking about you should be targeting, non-foil base model. If you just want the cheapest entry barrier that you possibly can achieve. We're just using these old border card images here to look at the most beautiful version, and it's brand new, and we're just absolutely astounded that they did this. Arid Mesa, Jake, currently all of these are the MM17 prices. The MM17 versions of these cards are the cheapest that you can currently acquire them for. Non-foil MM17 version. Arid Mesa, Jake, $42 if you go out and you buy a copy right this second of MM17. what would you be targeting the base model Modern Horizons 2 version of Arid Mesa at?
So if they do not price the product appropriately, if it comes out and it sits on Friday, you can buy the packs for like $5 or $6, but then come the following week, they decide, well, let's make the packs $10 a piece. Well, not much changes on the price of these cards. You know, hopefully you can get the non-blue ones for about $20 a piece. That would be my goal, is try to find these for anywhere from that like $20 to $25 range.
So Arid Mesa currently at 42, about half is what you might want to be targeting the base level Modern Horizons 2 version at. Jake, same thing with Marsh Flats, $45 to acquire right now, still in that $20 range.
Yeah, I remember Marsh Flats getting down to around 20 to 23. I think I even acquired a foil at like 25 when Modern Masters 2017 was coming out. It was like hot on everybody's mind and people were just liquidating stuff. Yeah, I would try to find the base model of this card at between $15 to $20. So hopefully it gets that low.
Right. Those are the two cheapest of the five, Arid Mesa and Marsh Flats, at around $40 to $45. Misty Rainforest is our other most expensive one, then Scalding Tarn. $72 currently to acquire a copy of this, the MM17 version. Jake, what would you be trying to target the base level Modern Horizons 2 border for Misty Rainforest?
Like 35.
35.
Like,
honestly, that would be a snap buy for you, $35?
Probably about $35, yeah.
Yeah. Same thing with Scalding Tarn then, I would assume. 72, same price as Misty Rainforest. If you're looking at TCG Market, by the way, that's what we're using all of the prices for in this video. MM17 copy, $72 for Scalding Tarn.
OG enemy fetches are some of the most counterfeited cards of all time. There is no hollow stamp on them. They are highly desirable. You need them for Modern. You need them for EDH. You need them for Legacy. Everybody loves these cards.
Yeah.
So these old borders, the non-foils, I could see them as copyright targets just because there is no hollow stamp on them. They're going to be very popular as well.
Yeah.
But just keep that in mind. But yeah, I would say Scalding Tarn probably around $35 to $40 range.
And then Verdant Catacombs is the last of the five. It's just a little bit below Misty and Scalding at 66 for the MM17 copy. Jake, do you think you could pick up a copy of this for $25?
I would hope it gets as low as 25, but I would even put it around the same area, 30 to 35. And again, if the LGS, if stores are selling these packs at a reasonable price, hopefully we can really hammer down the price on these and get these low so that people could start acquiring them. But again, anybody who knows anything about MTG is going to know that this set is going to make money. And so we might see a big price hike right out the gate for Modern Horizons 2.
Let us know down in the comments the prices that you're going to be targeting acquisition of these five cards at.
Fetch lands! And also, what version of Scalding Tarn do you think is the most pimp version?
Hit that notification bell down there so you know when we post a new video about these. We're going to be covering them at length in the next couple weeks, and you're going to want to have that information ASAP.
So if you enjoyed this conversation today, click like and subscribe, and again, head on over to Patreon if you want to get involved in the channel on a deeper level. I'm Jake. That guy over there is Joel. We hope you have a great weekend, okay? Fetch lands!